Welcome, students. As you can see, you can join me at join.nearpod.com, and then you can enter this code, IAPZJ. You have a month to do this, and you can follow along with the lesson there. So, we're going to go ahead and jump into the lesson. You can use this video to follow along as well. First of all, we're speaking about nutrition and athletic performance. Now, this is a lesson intended for high school students, so we're going to go off of the high school standard, the high school health standard, which is to create a snack plan for before, during, and after exercise that addresses nutrition needs for each phase. So the cognitive idea here is to feel comfortable, to really understand the principles of snacking for before, during, and after exercise. And the affective would be to feel confident and to feel like you can improve your gains from exercise by appropriate snacking. And behavioral, of course, is then to choose appropriate snacks that will help maximize your muscular growth, your cardiovascular strength, those kind of things, using a snack plan. We're going to start with some interactive questions. You'll have the opportunity to share your thoughts, and I can look back on these later, but the idea is, what do you think is the ideal snack or meal before exercise? And why? Why is that ideal? For example, if I thought avocado toast is obviously the most ideal, and it's because it has high carbohydrates in the bread. And avocado. Well, then I'll just go ahead and submit that. And there we go. You know what? I think that person's right because it's me. Okay, so we've discussed that a little bit, and as you're thinking about before, now think about during exercise. What do you think is ideal? What's the ideal snack for during exercise, and why? Well, I'd say water, because we're losing a lot of water through sweat. Maybe I'd say sports drinks. So maybe sports drinks are ideal. Oh, well, I already said water. I guess we'll just say that. And then, what about after exercise? What do you think is the ideal snack or meal after exercise? And why would that be? I'm going to say spaghetti. High in carbs. With meatballs, high in protein. There you go. That's what I think. So put your answers in there. I'm curious to see these going forward over the next month. So let's start with the instruction here. Before exercise, there are two different things we need to think about. Well, there are three different things we need to think about. There's meal, there's fluids, and there's snacking, right? Snacking, and this goes for the meal as well, you do not want it to happen anywhere in the 5 to 60 minutes before a workout. Within 5 minutes is fine, because, and we'll talk about this risk of hypoglycemia you can see there. What happens is your body generally takes about 45 minutes to really start kicking in the insulin to reduce your blood sugar after you've eaten something. If you're eating in that window of 5 to 60 minutes before, you're going to have that insulin kicking in from the meal right when you're exercising, where your body's going to is going to start using that blood sugar anyway. So the combination of that insulin and the sugar being used for the exercise is going to lower your blood sugar to a dangerous level, and you're not going to perform well. That's why you don't want to snack. If you do it right before, it's fine because your body has a delay on that insulin. You're already going to be in exercise. Your body will have figured it out that it doesn't need to push out the insulin. It's doing great. And if you do it longer than that, it's fine. It will take care of the whole insulin thing from the meal before you even start your event. Now, the best time, though, is at least 2 hours before. You want fluids. And you can see that's about a quart of fluid. At least you want 14 to 22 ounces of fluids. And liquid meals are even better. They can help reduce nervous indigestion, nausea, vomiting, right? It just is a little bit easier for your body to handle. So if you get those nerves, you won't, lose your lunch. And you want it to be small. You want it to be 200 to 500 calories. That's what a kilocal is, just calories. And easily digestible things. Cereal, toast, milk, juice. Nothing super complex. See, like the spaghetti I put for after, do not eat that before. That's a complex meal. All right, there's going to be a little quiz here. Answer the question on the quiz. We'll see how well you paid attention on the slide. Now, a word on loading before we get to during exercise. You may have heard of carbo loading. Loading is the idea that several days before an event, you can eat more carbohydrates and it will up your body's carbohydrate reserves, which can help you in your event. So for up to 3 days, you also want to reduce your training, right? You don't want to tire out your body, and you don't want to be using those carbohydrate reserves. You want to allow your body to store them. So if you really up the carbohydrates, you just do some easy warm-ups for the few days before your event, this can up to double your muscle glycogen or glucose, which is your energy, and it can be a huge help. Elite athletes know this, they do it, but that's something interesting even if you're just thinking about a personal event, right? Maybe you want to do a big bike ride, or you're getting ready for a 5K or something. Think about this beforehand. Now, there are some blanks here you're going to fill. I'm not going to fill them in because I want to see you fill them in and see if you get them correct. I will get to see those results. On to during exercise. Especially for events that last longer than an hour, water is huge, right? You have to consume enough water to counteract the water weight loss that's happening from you sweating. And usually, I believe that's saying 2% of body weight is what you're wanting. Now, sports drinks are even better, and the reason for that is you're losing sodium as well in your sweat. And this sodium in your body has some mechanisms to retain that sodium in your blood, which helps keep it nice and flowing freely. It helps keep as much liquid in your blood as possible so it flows freely and well, even though you're losing a bunch of water. But if you consume with sodium in concentrations, you can see between 0.5 and 0.7 grams per liter, and that's quite a bit. For example, I saw some students do an activity with this, and there was one sports drink that just didn't quite get high enough, and another sports drink brand did. So be careful about that as we have an activity later. Sodium you want in those high concentrations because that helps keep your blood absorbing more water. That salt will tell your blood, oh, I need more water, and it will suck it up, right? And you want 30 to 60 grams per hour of carbohydrates if possible. That's pretty hard to achieve, I'm not going to lie. Now, there will be a little activity here, do some matching. You'll have a minute to do it, so don't waste any time. It'll be fun. I'm excited to see how you do. Then, after exercise. Within 1 to 2 hours, and this is very important, the effect is lost if you wait too long after exercise. Within 1 to 2 hours after the end of your event, this could be any day. Every day I go to the gym and I lift weights. I have in my mind when I finished my exercise so that I know I want to eat a meal and I want to get my protein shake, which is how I do it, within 2 hours after that. Because like I said, after that, it's too late. Like the gains aren't the same. Research has been done. So what you want is 20 grams of protein, and that's difficult to achieve. I'm not going to lie. Like I said, I do a protein shake. I do literally use a protein powder just designed for that purpose. And complete proteins, though, are even better, right? Which I'm obviously not achieving. So like meat, fish, poultry, eggs, milk, those are the best way to go about it. That's going to have all your essential amino acids. And you want at least 50 grams of glucose every 2 hours after. That's if it's a major event, right? But again, that's carbohydrates, right? So you're looking at, you want a meal. You want a meal with at least 50 grams of carbohydrates and at least 20 grams of protein. And that will really help your muscle protein synthesis, help your muscles rebuild, and help your body just get stronger, right? Build more strength, more endurance. Okay. Now, there's a really fun activity right here, if I remember correctly. Time to climb. It's a little game, and we'll get to see the leaders. I hope you enjoy that. It is time-based, so again, don't waste any time on those questions. And last but not least, knowing this information, we'll have a little competition. Or we would if we were in person. But I still want you to do it to make yourself feel good if you do really well. Because I taught this to a group of high school students, 2 groups actually, a few weeks ago. The maximum points they got was 5, and you can see the max possible is 17. So beat the high school students. You can do it. Here's how it works. You can see how the point values work out. Before the workout, so you're going to choose a snack for before workout or you're going to make a snack plan, rather. It doesn't have to be a singular snack. It could be multiple snacks, because some of these may be impossible to achieve with a single snack. And I'm going to show you your options for snacks on the next slide. You're going to choose a snack plan for before, during, and after the workout. If your snack plan for before has a total of 200 to 500 calories, you get a point. If it includes cereal, toast, milk, or juice, you get a point for each. And some students got very clever for this, even if it's an ingredient, right? I mean, if milk's in the thing you're eating, then you got milk. Good job. If it's liquid, that's a bonus point. And if it's liquid, if you have liquid in there amounting to 14 to 22 fluid ounces, that's another point. For your during workout snack plan, if it's liquid, again, you get a point. And then we want a certain carbohydrate values, and we want certain sodium concentration. You're going to have to do a little math for that sodium concentration, because it's probably going to be in milligrams or per milliliter, unless you're looking at a liter size bottle. So that's a point for each of those. You can get them. And then after workout, you need at least 50 grams of carbohydrates in that snack plan, at least 20 grams of protein. Each of those will get you a point. And if it includes any of the following, you can get a point for each: meat, fish, poultry, that's birds, right? Chickens, other birds that we eat, egg, or milk. Max points possible is 17. If one of you gets 17, that would be truly amazing. I would be so impressed. And here are your choices. I know this is difficult to see. You're welcome to do some research online yourself if you want to actually do this activity. But the idea is we want this to be easy, right? I don't want you to have to go to the store and spend extra money on something. We want this to be like, oh, hey, I exercised, and then I can go, I'm walking by a vending machine, and I'm like, that would be a good thing for me to eat after exercise. So using only what you can see in these vending machines, make a before, during, and after exercise plan, snack plan, and you saw the point values. You should be able to go back and forth using this code when you go to join.nearpod.com, and you can look at the point values, and it's just going to be for fun. The winners would get a prize, and my students did get a prize when I did this in high school. Obviously, I have no way to give you a prize except for affirmation if you tell me you got 17 points. But there you go. That's the activity. And last but not least, you'll put your answers here. I'm curious to see what the participation looks like. You can see 3 snacks, 1 before workout snack or meal, 1 during workout snack, and 1 after workout snack or meal. And again, that's like a plan. It doesn't have to be a single item. And I hope that is clear there. And finally, and very importantly, I got most of this information from a textbook, Physiology of Sport and Medicine, Sport and Exercise, by W.L. Kenny, J.H. Wilmore, D.L. Costa. I hope this was valuable for you and that your snacking around your exercise improves so that your gains and your positive results from your exercise, which is hard work that I commend you for doing, that will also improve.